really quickly, guys. I wanted to cover this story very briefly. As porn sites, apply new age checks, will users hand over personal IDs? So I'm sure as many of you, and God forbid some of you in chat who have to live on Turf Island know, the UK now has required people to use their IDs to look at porn. And the thing is, I have a very hot take on this. My take is scalding on this, okay? My take is so scalding on this. I feel like there's a lot of people who happily give their ID to buy like alcohol and weed, especially in the US. Giving your ID to purchase weed is crazy. Like to some random database, to some random company that can get sold, right? Obviously, you still have to do it in person. That's unavoidable, but like on an app, all right? But they won't do it for porn because that feels like wrong, right? Are they actually recording your ID or just checking age? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But the reality is, even if this was a policy that anyone would ever want, or that this was a policy that could help, it's just not an effective policy. Because people will find a way to watch porn. It's like prohibition. It's like, well, everyone is drinking everywhere all the time and it's causing all of these other terrible things, or it's exacerbating all these other things. So let's ban alcohol. It's like, well, that is not going to work. That's not going to work. People want their treats. That's not going to work. There's no universe where that works. They're trying to classify Wikipedia as an adult site, and yes, they're recording ID via third-party companies, aka a way to leech money off public purse. Yeah. For people talking about like it's just surveillance state, the reality is like they can do that whether people get their porn tracked or not, right? We're bringing back porn in theaters. No, no, no. I'm here. It's more than just porn sites. It's also for Discord, etc. Anything that content can be shared that is 18 plus in case you missed the message. Yeah. You need your age verified on Twitter to watch a trailer. And it's like, here's the thing, man. I agree that like there's a lot of porn sites, and especially Pornhub probably being the worst, where there's a lot of porn on Pornhub that's like uh um Uh-oh. And I'm pretty sure Pornhub got in trouble for like allowing people who they didn't confirm weren't minors to be uploading. I know over the past couple of years they've been cleaning up the act a lot because of public pressure. But like, how about instead of restricting people's access to the sites, you crack down on the massive corporations that don't have enough regulations in place? How about you do that instead? Hmm? Hmm? Not me working a government job and having you play out loud. You are living a crazy life. You live life on the edge. Also, it wasn't a revenge porn issue, so now they have to verify every creator, which is the right way to do it. If you want to upload content to Pornhub, you should be required to verify your identity. The creator should be required to verify their identity. The people who are uploading should be required to verify their identity. I think that that's reasonable. You probably want to know who's uploading these videos, and some videos that were like giga sus. But like the users, I don't know. This feels like telling people to vote with their dollar. I'm not totally against age verification, but I wouldn't trust sharing it with random online companies, maybe a government website that can confirm your age without providing all the details or image of your ID. Yeah, so like I think that's another big part of like my problem because I know that most people probably have like ID.me, like one of those accounts because you need it for like the IRS and a bunch of other stuff. That's a lot more reasonable that you link it to something that people already use to verify their identities. That is a lot harder to be leaked. That can be leaked too. Look at what happened to T. Okay, T is very different from like the US government. That's these are like miles apart. These are miles apart. I'm not saying like the IRS is unhackable. I'm saying it should be, and I'm pretty sure it is, 10 times harder to hack than like some random app that was made by some guy on like the fucking on just like on the App Store. I don't know what universe people think it's okay to just like have random third-party apps scanning people's IDs. That seems crazy. That seems that seems crazy. Also really funny people are using the Death Stranding characters to bypass it. That's so hilarious. That's really good though. So yeah. Um Denims, check my logs, please. I don't know what you want me to do with this article. Elephant horror. Millionaire safari boss 39 gored by 6-ton elephant and stamped to death at 5-star private game reserve in South Africa. What do you want me to do with this story? I don't know what to do with this. I just wanted you to see it. Okay. All right. Anyways, yeah. It says thousands of sites have committed to age checks, pop, whatever format platforms choose, they must be technically accurate, robust, reliable, and fair. Some sites that host sexually explicit content have already committed to introducing age checks, but FCOM says that they must also take action over methods people might use to get around checks. What about VPNs? When BBC News wrote about the 7 methods of age verification, second. Adult websites may use in the UK and the companies who may be employed to do it. One reader comment resonated with many others. Sure, I'll give out my sensitive information to some random unproven company, or I'll just use a VPN. Difficult choice. Again, it's like I think a lot of people would cave and give their ID if it's like you know that you're using some other app. Like again, ID.me. You guys know what ID.me is? I guess like non-Americans might not know. I don't know if it's outside of exists outside of the US. But it's for the IRS to verify your identity to be able to access your tax documents. I think it's used by a lot of other apps as well. And it has your like all your identification and you scan your face and whatever. It has your phone number, whatever. I think a lot more people would be like, I'm down to sign into my ID.me to do that. I am not down to scan my fucking ID and my face to go look at some porn. So that when that company gets hacked, I'm just fucked. Like, that sounds like a terrible fucking idea. I'm not doing that. I think there are a lot of people who still won't do it at all, period. But, you know, moving on. Sure, I will give out my sensitive information to some random company, or I will use a VPN. They said difficult choice. VPN is a legal way to securely connect one device to another using the internet. They have a variety of uses, but one is getting around anything blocked because of your location. According to Ofcom, platforms must not host, share, or permit content encouraging use of VPNs to get around age checks. Well, it's a good thing everybody knows that VPNs exist, I guess. Government told the BBC under the Online Safety Act it will be illegal for platforms to do this. Regulators said parents should be aware children using a VPN to access the internet would not be able to benefit from the protections of Online Safety Act. Concerned parents, it said, should block or control VPN usage. Okay, like think of how to phrase this. The reality is kind of like it's a little sad and it's a little grim, but like if teenagers want to look at boobs, they're going to find a way to look at boobs. They will find, if there is a will, there's a way. Okay, kids were doing it way back when all you had was magazines and you had to physically go to a store to get them. Okay, it's the problem is like the porn that's on these websites. In my opinion, the problem is like any kids being exposed to like pipelines of more and more graphic shit that is actually detrimental. But you can solve that problem by cracking down on the websites that allow for porn hosting.
Hey chat, does anyone have a really old pair of jeans they haven't cleaned in a long time? I found my grandpa's old work jeans and have been sucking them clean for a while, but the flavor is starting to wear away. LMK, thanks chat.
Criminal pink, what the fuck? Stop. Stop. Okay, all right. I'd argue that the porn on websites not following the OSA is worse than something like Pornhub's Denims. At least Pornhub will verify the content creator's identity. Well, that was only recently is the problem, right? Like, it used to be the case that anyone could upload anything on Pornhub and like there was no, they were protected by Section 230 and it required like special provisions be made for uploading sensitive content because there were instances where there were women that were not confirmed to be adults and there was revenge porn on the website. Which, like, no website should be allowed to host any form of, it should be very difficult to host revenge porn on a website, especially one as big as Pornhub. And there should absolutely be some way to hold these people accountable so that at least you can find the identity of the person who uploaded the revenge porn. And that's the whole purpose of having an ID verification for creators or for uploaders, right? So that if revenge porn, as an example, if revenge porn got uploaded to Pornhub, at least when you want to take it down, you can directly reach out to like Pornhub or your local congressman or something and demand the identity of the person who's uploading this content so that that person can be held accountable and they can be held responsible for revenge porn. So like that, I mean, like, again, legislation always comes at the cost of people suffering first. But yeah. UK tends to legislate adult content in a really reactionary way. Honestly, this is turning into a reboot of Section 21, old anti-gay laws. I mean, it's also like, I haven't talked about it much because it's just such a weird conversation, but like, we all agree that like Gen Z and like presumably, well, actually, it's hard. You can't presume that, but like the newest generation of adults, at least in the US, have become a lot more, I don't know how else to describe it, but like reactionary and prudish. And like, don't get me wrong. I think we can criticize TV shows that have like too many sex scenes. Okay. Like arguably Game of Thrones was like just a couple too many and a little too explicit. They didn't need to be that explicit. I want to watch the show with other people. All right. But I feel like the pendulum has swung in like a crazy direction of like any type of sexualization is bad. And it's like, huh? What? And I feel like this will make it worse. Sex has never felt necessary to show in a movie, IMO. Well, I think you can imply intimacy, right? I think that's fine in movies. I think some movies are improved by the implication of intimacy. I don't think it's good to have every type of movie. Also, I disagree that like an R-rated movie because of blood and gore can't have any sex because that's too far. It's like, what are we doing here, guys? What what's happening? We're fried. We're fried. But like implied sex scenes where it's like these characters are like making out and then they go to a room and they're like taking off their clothes or whatever. And then that's where the scene ends. It's like, yeah, cool. Dope. I don't think we should be afraid. And also like, I don't know, as I think also personally, Americans are like very afraid of nudity in a way that sets this country back. And in a way that like has fried people's brains. Like I saw that it was like a woman's march. Like it was like a not free the nipple, but it was like some type of women's march in New York by like Washington Square Park, I think. And it was just a bunch of topless women. That's it. It was just a bunch of topless women. And the comments had people being like, "You're exposing children to this." It's like, what is happening? Like, what are we doing right now? We, like, we're so fucking fried. Holy shit. They're just boobs. They're just boobs, dude. You're exposing my child to a female breast. It's like, what the fuck? Imagine exposing babies to the thing that feeds them. Yeah. Don't people in go fucking nuts in the US if a woman breastfeeds in public? I mean, people have. People have. Genuine question: how do you fix people's porn addiction? Like, just encourage them to get a hobby or a girlfriend or something? I mean, the same way you fix any other addiction, right? Like cognitive behavioral therapy. Maybe a psychiatrist. I don't know. Just like the same way that you deal with other addictions. It's just you rely on this thing too much and you just need to be given professional help to stop relying on it. I'm not saying that in like a demeaning way, like professional help. I mean it just like in the way that that sentence means. Also, getting a girlfriend will absolutely not help someone's porn addiction. Okay? That's like, that's not, no. No, absolutely. That's just like ruining a woman's life. Okay? That's just ruining one woman's life. You replace your addictions with video games. No. No. Yeah, anyways, I just like I hate how prudish American culture is and how prudish American culture is becoming and how puritanical it's becoming. It's so infuriating. It's just like, and this is coming from someone who doesn't like PDA. Not like, I don't give a shit if other people do it. I don't like to do it. It makes me uncomfortable to engage in PDA. I am like, on a personal level, anti-voyeurism. But like, it's just, I can't believe some people are like terrified and threatened by like female breasts in public. It's like, we're so cooked. We're so fucking cooked. It's crazy. Is it puritanical? America has the biggest sex industry. I don't know. I really don't see it in practice. Well, yeah, I mean, yes, both can be true. America can be very puritanical and also be the largest sex industry. It's about like the industry exists and then you shame it for existing, right?